Yeah, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. You're listening to the GamezAttack podcast here at OldFreakyGamer.com, and this is episode 104. As I call this episode, GameStop wants to kill eBay. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a nice little podcast today. How's it going, everybody? You like the music for today? From Pixabay, I think it's called Delete This Audio, I think. Don't quote me on that. Actually, I can look it up right down here. Video Delete This Track, okay, by Pixabay. Yep, one of my free open source kind of video audio. Yeah. Now we can send this going bye-bye. There we go. So, everybody, welcome to the GamezAttack podcast. A podcast about video games, gaming, the gaming industry, and anything that involves gaming and beyond. I even politics a little bit, but I try to stay out of the politics of what the gaming is and the politics. But you know what? We got to cover it. We got to cover it sometimes. I got to talk about the gaming politics sometimes. I don't want to, but sometimes I have to. So how's it going, everybody? It is going splendidly for me. Weather outside is still a little cold-ish, which I'm not too fond of right now. It's still like in the 40s, 50s. It's been hitting sometimes 60s. It's supposed to hopefully go up next week, but I don't know. And then there's still a lot of rain going on. And I got a plant shipment for some more plants coming tomorrow. I got one already, but all the rest of these plants are coming later for some reason from the same company. I don't know. I'm not going to mention the company's name because I don't get paid for advertisements or endorsements. So no. But it's a plant service you might know that you can shop with online and stuff like that. I'm sure you can figure it out. But yeah, I ordered from them the last time, and now I'm ordering from them again. And shipments are coming a little earlier than my dirt. My dirt isn't coming until May 16th. So, or by May 16th, they said. So maybe Friday or Saturday of next week. So you're listening, or this week, because you're listening. I keep forgetting. I'm recording this on a Thursday before Monday. So for this upcoming Friday and Saturday, if what you're listening and watching, I would say on that. And yeah, it's coming a little later than I thought the dirt would, but I think the plants and these evergreens can hold themselves. They say keep them in the indoors, a little not as light, and not as hot or cold and stuff like that. Keep their soil a little moist until you decide to be able to plant them and stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. The only reason I ordered these plants ahead of time, and I know this does not have anything to do with video gaming, but the reason why I ordered these plants ahead of time is because they were on sale and they were selling out fast. And I was thinking, well, am I going to go to the local nurseries or whatever in the area, or should I just order them again online? And I'm like, I don't have to rent a thing to get them to bring them here. If I wanted to get bigger ones, they came pretty good. And the last time I got them shipped to me, and it's no fuss or muss. So I'm trying it again. Spent the money to do it again to get them shipped to me. So yeah, and they're not huge. They're like 2 to 4 inches, give or take, for these evergreen bushes that I got. They're evergreen bush trees, whatever you want to call them. They grow to like 4 feet wide or something, but they grow like 8 feet tall or something like that. I think it was like 2 to 4 feet or something wide, and then 8 feet tall they go up to. So that's nice. It'll get to nice privacy. They go into the front of my house or on my deck porch, and I'm letting them just grow and grow and grow and get bigger and bigger and taller. And eventually, when I'm ancient, because these are slow growing ones, they'll be tall, and I'll be enjoying nice bush privacy from all these bushes, because why not? But I also ordered the dirt the same week, and the dirt guys are delivering it to me, like I said, by the end of this week. It's coming in a bag, a big giant super bag that they take a forklift and carry the bag. It's pretty cool, and I get to keep the bag. And I'm like, oh, this is a big, heavy duty bag. And the dirt only cost me what, $190, and you get all this dirt, a lot of dirt, a lot of dirt. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use all the dirt. I'd probably be able to use all the dirt, but still, because I'm replanting bushes and trees from the front to move to the back anyway. So yeah, I'll probably be using all the dirt, but yeah, a lot of dirt, and then you get to keep the bag. That seems like they're getting ripped off a little bit. I don't know. Maybe they're getting ripped off a little bit. I don't know, because that, you would think a bag like that, something that huge to carry dirt, and they ship it on their truck to you, and then they take it off a forklift and all that, and they forklift it onto your property instead of dumping a bunch of dirt on your driveway, which is horrible. But this seems very awesome, and and my neighbor got a couple of these bags of dirt, and that looks pretty good. So I'm like, okay, I'll get a big bag of dirt for myself too. So get some nice, good dirt for bushes and trees and grass growing and stuff like that. And because this is that time of the year, and I want to get all that done. So I've been starting to do some outside stuff, getting some outside stuff ready. When I get all these bushes and trees done, hopefully I'll be able to do them over the weekend if it's not going to rain, or during the week after if it doesn't rain, which would be hell. And then when that's all said and done, if I didn't get my awning up yet, because I want to clean and spray it off before I put it up, but I want to clean and spray and then put up my awning for the front. But that's after I vacuum the gutters. A lot of stuff I got planned, and a lot of other stuff I got to do around the front and the bushes and stuff. I got to dig up more dirt. I got to move drainage pipes and stuff. Oh, a whole bunch of construction going on in my house. And then when that's all said and done, then I got a concrete project I want to start to do. I got to jack out some concrete and do all that stuff. And then it's like, when do I gonna have time to play any video games? So it's good. Like I said, these plans have been made loosely by me for a little while now, and I want to get all this stuff done. Well, I'm fingers crossed, which who knows, because things could take longer than they should and stuff happens. But I'm hoping to get all this shit done before my vacay in June, in the beginning of June, because I want to get all this stuff done before my June vacation, because then I don't have to do any of it on the June vacation. Now, if I get the concreting done at the end by my vacation, then I could just use my vacation time to just water the concrete every day, keep it wet, stuff like that. Maybe do some overcoating and glazing and stuff of it afterwards and stuff, let it get hardened, and that would be great. That'd be the best for me, but a lot of stuff. But I really want to do some gaming, and I will try to do as much gaming and put out some videos as I can. I did not post this in the podcast, but even though I got all this stuff going on, I did manage to record because I didn't get to. For some reason, I'm in a rut with my the latest longer game through videos that I'm trying to do for a certain game. So I made a smaller game through session that I did, and it's only 2 videos because it only took two days to film this game on session. I think I spent like almost 3-4 hours playing this game, and that's going to be going up starting this week, this Wednesday. I think am I going to do it Wednesday? I think I'll do it Wednesday. I know that's usually a Let's Play, but I think I'm going to do my game through on Wednesday so I can fill up that time slot instead of just putting it on Tuesday or whatever, because I got some other stuff going on. So it's going to be this Wednesday. I also got an eye appointment Wednesday as well. Got to get my eyes checked for DMV renewals, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I'm going to post that, and then it's going to be a normal week, and then the following week it's going to be another game through, and then after that it's going to be, back to doing Let's Plays and stuff like that. Plus, there are games coming out soon. What games are they? I'll be talking about them later, but there are games coming out soon. One of them being Forza Horizon 6. I will be doing a first gameplay of that. Maybe doing a stream. We'll see. I still am going to play Assassin's Creed Shadows. I want to get all that done. Well, done. Who says that's going to get done? I played a lot of Assassin's Creed. We'll talk. You know what? Let's get talking about that now before we get into our random news talks and stuff about GameStop trying to purchase and take over eBay and stupid shit like that, and stuff going on with Microsoft and Xbox again. You know, not bad stuff, but interesting stuff. And then the games news and stuff. So why don't we get into the games that I have played in the past week? Because why not? Why don't we get started with that? There's not too many games, but they're games in general. I just gotta find the thing here. Here we go.
The games that have been played in the past week.
So, talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows, folks. Yeah, I've been playing that remotely, been playing and streaming, of course, as you guys know, and I will be continuing to stream this game until it's, I guess, completed, or until I get into the next Final Fantasy in June. But that's if I decide to stream the next Final Fantasy in June. I'm gonna definitely do a first gameplay and stuff of that, and usually that ends up me playing it all the time on streams and stuff. But yeah, I really want to. I am pretty. I don't know if I'm pretty far. I'm not pretty far, probably story wise in the Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I am far in that world because I've been unlocking tons of shit. Still, I think I got like every major eagle point or whatever they call it. Eagle get on the top and it does the surrounds and the music and stuff in it. You unlock a waypoint and stuff like that. I think I found them all. I usually think I do, and then I usually find one for some weird magical reason. But I'm still going to each of the question marks and unlocking those, going to those. And I've been doing that throughout the week. I've been just going to random question mark spots, seeing what they are, unlocking. You know, the whole map is pretty much sought out and unlocked and stuff. I've been just going to random areas and stuff. I've been unlocking my hideout points and stuff. I got tons of hideout points all across the map. And then when I do stream the game, then it's mostly me going and just doing the missions and the story and doing the assassinations and stuff like that. And that's how I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, and that's how I get my kicks. And it's fun. It's fun doing it that way for me. And it makes the game a lot easier to play because then I don't have to go searching on the map. Well, where's this or where's that? Because it's all going to be easily unlocked because I already searched the whole map. And it seems easier to me, you know, that's how I play Assassin's Creed games. And I did that for Odyssey as well. And of course, I'm going to do it for this game. And then eventually, when I get that Black Flag resynced Assassin's Creed, if that's the same way that one works, I don't remember if it works that way. I will do it that way as well. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if it does it that. Did they have an open world for Assassin's Creed Black Flag? Was it really open world or was it like semi-open world? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really played it much. I played a little tiny chunk and I didn't like it. But that was because the controls and everything were bad at that before. Now it's going to have updated Assassin's Creed Shadows and Odyssey kind of controls and more modern day controls. So I should be a lot better at playing that. But I've been having fun with that. I want to keep playing. I want to beat it. Eventually I will play and beat it. The storyline and stuff, you know, I've been killing off a lot of motherfuckers, a lot of assassinating I've been doing in it, especially now that the map is open more and stuff, and that's been pretty damn good with that. So I've definitely been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Shadows throughout the week. The next game on my list, Persona 4 Golden, you know, oldie but goodie. Japanese RPG. The Persona series is pretty good. I might say pretty good to amazing. And Persona 4 Golden, I've just been hammering at it, bit by bit. And shit, that game never wants to end. It just keeps going and going and going like a fucking Energizer bunny. talk about you get your money's worth with the Persona games, because damn, they just keep it going and going. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I want to get done with this. I'm at the what's her name? The young girl, Haruka, Haruka. I know I get in her name wrong really bad. Haruka. You know what I'm talking about, the young girl. I'm getting to the point where she got kidnapped. Then I'm gonna save her. Then she's gonna get really sick, and then she's gonna die. Spoiler alert: if you didn't play the Persona 4 Golden game or see the anime, the Persona 4 anime, she dies at the end. Spoiler alert: I already know that ahead of time, but I want to get through this game because I want to beat this game finally. I never beat Persona 4 Golden. You know, like I said, I played it like first I started playing that game when it came out on the Vita and stuff. That was my first time ever playing a Persona game, and I played Persona 4 Golden because it seemed interesting to me at the time, but I was way over my head and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing back in the day. Now I do. I'm a better Mr. Mike RPG, Japanese RPG gamer and stuff. Same with Final Fantasy. You know, I'm a lot better now than I was at these games and these JRPGs and turn-based games and all that stuff. And the fact of the matter is, excuse me, I'm always moving my mic because I want to hear myself better. And the fact of the matter is, I played it on the Vita, and then I eventually got it for PC when it came out for PC later, and I started playing Persona 4 Golden on the PC, and then I stopped for a while. And then I picked it back up recently with the ROG Ally and the Xbox ROG Ally X, and I started playing that after I beat Persona 5 Royale and all the other stuff. I'm like, why don't I get back into Persona 4 Golden for some reason? Because I'm like, oh, maybe I want to beat Persona 3 Reload eventually someday. And I know they are making that Persona 4 remote. What is it called? Not resynced, but remaster, whatever. Don't care. I'm not going to care about that game, especially when they say they're taking out. I heard they're taking out a lot of the stuff that was so-called sketchy from Persona 4 Golden and blah, blah, blah. And they are going to make it more modern. They're going to make it more 3D. They are going to make the videos probably better and stuff. But I'm playing the original, the classic. I'm going to be happy with playing and beating Persona 4 Golden. Now, eventually down the road, when I play Persona 4 Reload or whatever it's called, I will definitely give it a try when it's dirt cheap, like $15, $20 dirt cheap, and I get it. But otherwise, I have no real passion to play that game. Yes, no passion at all. But I really want to beat this. It's dragging on and on. I'm actually in the dungeon now for to find the girl and rescue her or whatever and beat her persona and all that. So I am getting really close to the end. But yet there's still, when she dies and all that stuff, there's still that big boss battle with the real true killer and then all the other stuff. And we'll see how long that drags on for, because, you know, that stuff drags on for a minute. So, but I really want to beat it, because when I beat it, then I got that a nice little check off my list there of my back catalog of games that I've been playing forever. And then I can move on to some newer games. Like I said, maybe Persona 3 Reload. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll take another break from playing Persona games for a little bit, because pretty soon they're going to announce that Persona 6 game. I don't know when or when they're going to do it, but we all know that they are busy at work at Atlas making that Persona 6, whatever it's called. And we do know it's going to be announced sooner than later, and then it'll eventually come out, and eventually I'll have to buy it and play that right away. But like I said, then there's Forza coming out. I got some other we've got the Final Fantasy Rebirth coming out this June that I want to play, so I want to make room for that. I got still a ton of games in my back catalog to play, which, like I said, I am in no hurry playing and beating everything right away, because, like I said, this is when I pre-retire and all that, and, you know, before I retire, I'm going to be working way less, and I'm going to be playing way more games at that time. And then hopefully I don't have as much house stuff going on and other responsibilities. So when I'm older, that's going to be a prime time for me. I cannot wait till I retire, hopefully at 50, which this June I'm turning 40. So 10 years from then, that's a long time, you think, but time goes by very quick. Yeah, Persona 4 Golden, I love it. But then, like I said, I think they just stretch it out way too long, this game. And yeah, and like I said, I don't do any of the side bullshit or anything. I just do the dungeons. I do this. I try to go through the story, and it just drags and drags and drags and drags and drags. It drags. But that's okay. I still enjoy it. I still enjoy playing it, and I'm gonna beat it eventually. Maybe you never know. Maybe by the next time I do this podcast, maybe I could say, "Hey, I beat Persona 4 Golden." Woo! Hopefully, that's my dream there. Microsoft Bubble. I talked about that. It's like my snoot. It's like, brick breaker, whatever you want to call it. It's like all those backwards Tetris. It's one of those shoot the ball at a certain spot, and and get the pop all the other bubbles and stuff, and try to get through as many levels as possible. It's simple game. I've been playing it only on PC. I deleted off the ROG LAX because even though you can play it on there, it is not ideal for me. It's not the ideal way of playing that game, unfortunately. And it's just because you need a mouse to do it. You can use the controllers and stuff, but it just doesn't wiggle waggle the way I want it to wiggle waggle to aim, the wiggle waggle aiming, because it's more stiff and it's a little bit more it's more precise if I'm using my mouse to move it around and then boop and shoot the bubbles to pop the other bubbles and stuff. So very simple game, but very fun, very addictive to me. And I've been getting up in those levels. I've been doing a lot of stuff to increase my level accuracy, and just keep going up and using less and less. And then sometimes I'm not doing a good run, but sometimes I am doing a good run. And I could go through a run pretty quickly in Bubble Bobble and get up as far as I can. I think I got to level 13, 14. I think that's the highest I got in the Microsoft Bubble on there. It's fun. It's free. You get achievement points for it. Why not? There's no advertisement. You don't have to pay for any microtransactions in it, even though it pops up sometimes. Do you want to purchase more, what do they call it? More bubbles? No, purchase more, is it not levels? It's more, purchase more shots or something. Purchase more, using ammo and stuff like that to purchase more bubbles or something like that. And you click on it, it doesn't charge you anything or anything like that, because I think this was originally a phone game and it used to charge microtransactions for it, but on PC you're not paying for anything. So why not just take them? You get your bubbles. You get your bubbles for free. It costs you nothing, and you get to go pop some more bubbles and stuff like that. Microsoft Bubble, very fun game. And then the final game on my little list of what I played in the past week, which I didn't add the other game. Actually, there's 2 more games, but I didn't add this other game yet. That's a bad on me. And you didn't notice the thing because I added the other game to my list because I forgot about the game that I was playing for my game through session. So had to add that to my my little rundown here on the show notes. But next game on my list that I've been playing pretty much a lot of, and I even did a Let's Play of it some more. I've been playing a lot of Kiln here and there, on and off, and I'm still loving it. Still having a ball playing it. And I think I'm doing pretty good in Kiln. I'm helping out my team and my crew, even though a lot of my team and my crew are kind of iffy and oddie, depending on who I get in there, because it's a bunch of randos that I'm playing with, and sometimes the randos aren't doing a very good job, but sometimes they do a very good job. And then I choose, am I going to play as offense or defense as my Kiln pottery as I make a new piece of pottery mostly every time. And depending on where my team is doing, if they're the ones going gung ho to go and put out the other uh, team's kiln, I will stand back by our kiln, by our fire and stuff, and I will try to hit and block and destroy the pottery of the opposing team, the opposing team pottery enemies. If they're all staying behind to protect our kiln and defeat the other team's pottery, then I will go forth and I will go grab some water along the way and I will try to douse out their kilns. So, depending on what my team is doing or not doing, because usually I feel like they all focus on one thing or another mostly, I will do the opposite and I will go play kiln my way and I'll go either battle and protect or go forth to try to douse their kiln 3 times and get it and win the round. It works a lot of the times. A lot of the times it does not work. It depends on how good your teammates are or not, and it's a very unique game in the respect that I keep calling it a Splatoon game because it feels like a Splatoon game in most ways. I know people will discredit me for that and say, no, Mr. Mike, that ain't totally not like a Splatoon game. But it does. It feels to me like a Splatoon game. And the way it plays and the way you go through different weird levels and stuff. And it's just so much fun. And like I said, I hope Double Fine does update this game a lot more and add more stuff to it, add more levels, maybe make teams a little bit bigger, maybe possibly. Why not? Why not make bigger teams, make bigger areas to play in and whatnot, different things on how to capture the flag. I don't know, maybe capture a flag, maybe do something else. Excuse me, Lodiani. But otherwise, I'm having a ball with it. And even though it's free, or you could buy it for $20 which I found out about because I thought it was like $10, but maybe that was an introductory rate at the time. And then I see it was $20. I'm like, that's going to be kind of iffy for everybody if you're going to be spending $20 on this game. But if you like these games, these head-to-head pottery breaking, making, fighting type of games, that's going to be a great little fighting thing. It's a great game. It's a great game. Like I said, I've been playing it on and off. I've been playing it remotely on my, well, not remotely, but I've been playing it wirelessly on my ROG Ally X or Xbox ROG Ally X, and it's been running very well. And then, like I said, I did my recent Let's Play on here. I'm playing on my PC and having fun with it on there. It's just a game I hope more people adopt and play because it's very simple. It's very fun. It's better than playing all these Fortnites and stuff because I can't get behind the Fortnites and all that stuff anymore. And I don't know. Kiln seems like a nice, simple, simplistic, not in the roughed and truffed, it's a very, very neutral type of game that people can just jump in, play, have some fun with. It doesn't have all that baggage and stuff like other games out there do, and it's fun. And you don't have to talk to anybody. You just play. Sometimes you mess around with you. Sometimes you mess around with them. We have fun. It's a fun game. And yeah, what else? You build pottery. You glaze them. You fight with them. You fill up with water and try to douse other people's kilns. It is great. And like I said, it's like Splatoon for me. Go figure. If you like it or not. And then the final game, the real final game, not the fake final game that was Kiln, but I'm talking about the real final game on my games that I, Mr. Mike, have played in the past week, but I didn't say it. And this is going to be the game that I'm going to be doing for my next game through. That's only got 2 episodes to it because it only took 2 episodes to play and finish this game. It's a FMV mystery horror, whatever they consider type of a game. It's called Death Come True. It's a Japanese type of a game from a Japanese FMV company. And I gotta say, wow, this was made way back far ago, like 2020, I think it was. And boy, they could have did a lot better with some of the special effects and some of the ways that the game went. Maybe made some more paths. You're gonna see for yourselves when I play this on how much it took me to go, what? And the story was, I guess, basic. Everything about it, this game is basic. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying if I was to make an FMV game like this, I would do a lot better. I could do a lot better with the special effects, with this and that, with characters, with somebody, let's just say somebody was stabbing somebody else with a katana in this game, and you could totally see it was not going through that person. It was not looking at all, not even close, not even using a prop like samurai sword or anything, looking like it was going right through it. Plus, there was no blood, and I'm like, huh. So it was an okay average game. You're going to see for yourself with these 2 episodes. There were some funny points to it. There were some interesting points, but I'm like, at the end of playing this after the 2 days that I was recording this game, I was like, I see where they were going, but I think they kind of could have did more for everything, a little bit more. But they decided not to, or they never wrote more for this game. And they just filmed it and put it out. Otherwise, yeah, I tried it out. It was only like, when I bought it at the time, was like $4 or $5. So I'm not going to hold it against them, because I think originally it was like 19, $20 or something for this game, Defcon True. And they're talking about, this is a FMV cinematic experience, so much so they don't want people to stream it or put it out on YouTube and stuff, even though I looked it up on YouTube and I'm like, oh, look at all these people that played this game and put it up on YouTube. Even though that in the beginning of the game, which you don't see, is the very beginning, before the game even starts, they have I think the actor comes on or someone who says, oh, hopefully you don't try to post this or stream this to anybody. We ask you nicely to not do that. And it's like, oh, we all did it. Especially now, the limit on these what should I say? The limit on the expectation, oh, not expectations, the limit on what do you call it? Not copyright. I'm gonna say the limit on jurisdiction. I don't know. The limits, because it's came out in 2020 and it's 2026 now. I think that it's been out for enough time that it doesn't matter if I do post it or stream it. Maybe I'll get more people, more of you guys to maybe go out and buy it, because you can get all the achievements from it very easily. I got 1,000 achievement points from this game very easily. So if I could do it, you could do it too, by playing Def Come True on your Xbox or on your Xbox for PC. If you want to do it, go ahead, because you know, why not? It's good for achievements, I guess. But otherwise, as a game, I'm like, I played a lot of FMV games and stuff like that, and a lot of them seem a little bit better, with a lot of stuff. So yeah, like games like The Late Shift and stuff that's made in Britain and stuff, that's solid quality FMV gaming right there. But I wanted to try something else, and I think I got some Chinese FMV games and stuff like that as well, and other FMV games like a horror FMV game and stuff like that, that I want to play. And it's like, okay, at least I tried this, at least I played this, and I beat it. So otherwise, they could have did more with this. But you'll see for yourselves this week, Wednesday, the first episode of Def Come True comes out for your entertainment. And then the following week, we'll finish up with a second and final episode of Def Come True on Game Through. So those are the games that I, Mr. Mike, have played through the past weeks. Now let's talk about good old GameStop buying good old eBay, or trying to, in a way, in the least. They're trying to do a really big buyout, a really big takeover, which I'm like, amongst everybody else out there, and it doesn't matter if you're a normie like me or if you're a person that's in the business know-how and stuff, but everybody around the world's going, "What? GameStop trying to bid and buy out who?" And I'm thinking, how could GameStop ever afford to purchase eBay? Now, no, money is fake nowadays. Let's just face it. For companies and corporations, money is fake. Two, apparently GameStop has like a little percentage of stock in eBay. Three, it makes me wonder. I thought eBay was doing very well for themselves, by themselves, making billions of dollars. How can a little company like GameStop, which it used to be big, but they've been downsizing because they've been losing money and not selling as much, and bad business practices, and so on and so on and so on, that nobody's really buying their stuff for that. But yeah, it makes me wonder. It makes me scratch my head amongst everybody else. Why and how and all this stuff. So as it states here, GameStop stated that it could be a legitimate competitor to Amazon if they purchase eBay. Now, I'm going to tell you this, folks. This is my prediction. If GameStop ever got their hands on eBay, even if they do have some stock in them or whatnot, and they ever got to purchase them, which you never know, it could happen. But if that ever happens, I'm gonna stop selling on eBay. Let's just say I think my time on eBay selling things on eBay is gonna be coming to a very short, sharp close, because I'm gonna be like, nah, I don't trust GameStop and how they do deals and how they have been doing deals and ripping off people like me for a long time. Excuse me, I'm going to take a drink here, a milk for my throat. But yeah, seeing them do dealing and stuff like that, and seeing firsthand on what GameStop has becometh now, more than video games. Now they just, card collectors and stuff. They have people come bring their collections, and they try to, they'll give them probably practically nothing for them, and they sell Funko Pop and all this other stuff. And they're more of everything else than just a gaming store anymore. And it's like, first thing, most games come out are digital anyways, too. GameStop is irrelevant nowadays, so yeah, excuse me for that. So I'm going to read this article here. This is from GameSpot. So the latest chapter in the video game retailer GameStop's tumultuous story is unfolding as the meme company, as we all like to call them, the meme company has announced plans to make a deal to buy eBay for $55.5 billion. Now, yours truly thinks, or thought, I thought that eBay was worth more than $55 billion. I thought they would have been more close to $1 trillion now, but maybe not. I don't know. I thought eBay was making bank on everything, on everybody selling stuff on eBay. Come on, I find more stuff on eBay, relaxing or not relaxing and stuff like that. I find more stuff on eBay being sold all the time, all various prices and stuff, for auctions and buy and sell and stuff. And I sell on eBay a little bit as well right now. And it's like, they're only worth $55.5 billion. Come on. They were even in Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. They were very extra popular again in that, because in Wreck-It Ralph, they used eBay in eBay to be the in that movie. So you would think that they would be even have more money than 55.5 billion as a company, but maybe they're doing just fine. Maybe they don't care. Maybe 55 point maybe the I don't know. I don't know. So let me continue reading this. So GameStop stated in a news press release that it submitted a non-binding proposal, non-binding, mind you, proposal to buy 100% of eBay and $125 per share in cash and stock at 50% each. So 50% cash, 50% of the useless GameStop stock that frankly is not probably doing well. I don't know. Excuse me for all the ums. This would be about a 20% premium over eBay stock. Excuse me for that. I paused for a second because I had a nose problem. Let's just say that. I'm not going to get too far into this. Let's just say, yeah, that would be a 20% premium over where eBay stock was trading on Friday, and a 46% premium to eBay's closing price on February 4th this year. That was the day that GameStop started buying eBay stock, I guess. Today it owns about 5% of eBay's outstanding stock. Oh, okay. So CEO Ryan Cohen stated that there is nobody who is more qualified based on my experience to run the eBay business. He said eBay should be worth and will be worth a lot more money. That's what I was saying too. Why is it not? I'm thinking about turning eBay into something worth hundreds of billions of dollars, he stated. Cohen went on to state if he can pull it off, the combined eBay and GameStop could be a legit competitor to Amazon. I think not. I think not. I think the way he's been running GameStop and all of this GameStop corporation and how that's been doing, I think eBay is going to be in a lot of trouble. I think eBay will be gone. And I'd hate to see that. I'd hate to see eBay turn really bad and get really bad and just go under, because it's been around for a long time, and I never was always 100% liking eBay. I don't like eBay as much, and I don't like Amazon that much either, but I still deal with the companies. I still buy stuff on Amazon. I'm selling stuff on eBay, and I do rarely buy some stuff on eBay as well from people, and it's been okay, but and why am I talking about this? Well, it's funny that a video game company that has like just a little bit of money in meme stock, that was using that money from the meme stock to purchase shares in a company like eBay, and now with the ex-Chewy CEO that runs GameStop wants to take over and control of eBay, and they're doing stuff like, hey, we'll even do a hostile takeover, blah blah blah, if they don't let us try to buy it, and blah 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 blah. And it's like, why does a company like that have to buy that? You only got, first off, you only got 5% of shares in that company when everybody else has probably way more shares in eBay. And because he's a CEO of GameStop. What is he getting out of this? Of course he's gonna, if he makes it happen, gets to make it happen and stuff, he's probably gonna get a bigger payday and a bigger golden parachute or whatever. He's gonna be making some money off of the deal and all that stuff as well. So of course it's in his best interest to try to do this hostile bid and takeover of eBay. I think eBay, I don't know. I think eBay is going to laugh it off and go, nah, we're good. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. It depends on if these shareholders and these board members want to just say, maybe when I want to get out of this eBay business right now because you know how things are going everywhere. Maybe it's time to cut and run now instead of later because then our business will go down and under. And it's like, I could see that. I can definitely see that. Now, if that's the thing that's actually going to happen, I don't know. Like I said, when's the last time I've been in a GameStop? When's the last time you've been in a GameStop? I don't think any of us has been in a GameStop for a long, long time. And also, when the GameStop CEO was talking to people in the news, like these CNBC anchors, in an interview, they were just like dumbfounded on what the fuck he was talking about, and they were asking, and one interviewer was asking him on, oh yeah, you got 5% of eBay and all this, but yet you guys don't have that much money as GameStop, and he's like asking, how are you gonna get the money to purchase eBay, GameStop? How are you gonna? And then he says, well, you know, we're gonna sell off our shares in eBay, and then we're gonna just use it to make the bid on eBay, and then we're gonna use our 50% stock from from GameStop, but we're gonna get some money for that, and it's like, and it's not really answering the question. But then he's like, well, we're going to do 50%. He stated that GameStop will make an acquisition with 50% stock and 50% cash. And I'm thinking, yeah, because eBay really wants your worthless 50% of stock of GameStop, because that stock is worth less. 50% cash, yes, if you can come up with it, but shit, you would think that, you know, that people would move on that stuff. But yeah, and I guess the whole the whole interview with the CNBC anchor just went eh. And then right now I'm seeing that eBay has dropped 1.26% in tradings right now. So they just closed at 106.42 as I'm looking at this. GameStop's stock is only at $23.95, and that fell 1.22 at close. So tell me, folks, tell me, why would the fuck, how and why? Well, I know the why, but how the fuck is GameStop going to ever purchase eBay? But we've seen stupider and crazier things, right? And having this well, it's still going on, but sort of game video game retailer, not really doing what they should be doing, like trying to get their stores more profitable. I know that's like a almost impossible task now with digital media and all that stuff, but they were really big into the older collectible games, into, bringing back the old school games, selling all that stuff, and doing it, not super fair prices, but at, decent prices and whatnot. And, it was a lot better back then. And now it's just like, whew, GameStop has fallen off a cliff. I remember back before GameStop took over, it used to be EB Games. Yeah, electronics boutique in gaming. That's when it was simpler times, when I was a young Mr. Mike, still unfortunately in school, not learning a thing, playing video games, going with my friends to EB Games, Electronics Boutique back in the day. It was so much more friendlier. There was tons of cool games and systems. Oh. And then when it turned into GameStop, originally I was like, okay, whatever, it's still the same thing. And I was doing my pre-orders, I was at midnight launches. It was a good place to be as a younger gamer. And now it's just shell of its former self. The CEO is crazy that's running this. I know he's an ex-Chewy CEO and owner, founder and stuff of Chewy. You remember Chewy? They were the pet food online company that Amazon took over or whatever, or bought out or whatever they did with it. But yeah, this is crazy. Why is it? And like I said, why does this have to involve video games? Well, shit. eBay sells video games. GameStop used to sell video games, and anybody that wants to trade in or buy used or new games and blah 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 blah. You're gonna have if eBay gets bought by GameStop, I'm pretty sure that's all gonna be fucked. I'm pretty sure everything's gonna be fucked, and that they're gonna fuck it all up with their own bullshit, and then it's not gonna be a decent place anymore to sell your video game collection and whatnot in the near future with this stuff, because frankly, just like everybody else reporting on this, we're all just shaking our heads going, mm-mm. And I'm no corporate guy. I'm no big business guy. I'm no, why am I caring about this? Because, like I said, if GameStop took over eBay, I know they're gonna have it go down the pits, and that's when I gotta stop selling on eBay. And I just started putting stuff up on eBay now and started selling, and it's okay and stuff. But like I said, if GameStop takes it over, I can see it going down a dark road to nowhere, and it's just like horribleness. I don't like it. Enough about that. Let's talk some real good talk here. Let's talk about some Microsoft Xbox stuff. There's always stuff going on. I'm trying not to talk too much. I know I am Xbox and PC first. There's no lie that comes out of my mouth here for that stuff. I am not an influencer. I'm not a one-sided guy. Like I said, hey, if everybody can do good, I would want everybody to do good in the video game industry. But because there's nothing really to talk about PlayStation, there is, but that's going to be in the games news section. And I never can find too much of their like on sale store games or their Xbox or PlayStation Plus games or anything like that. It's just like baffling to me. But talking Xbox, which I like to do from time to time, and I do got some Xbox talk to do here. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to move this over here. Asha Sharma, I got her name right. Asha Sharma and the Xbox team and co are still making some more choices, making some little moves going forward, and transparency up to a point and all that. And then just gets me a little bit wondering on does even though Asha Sharma is learning the game, learning this part of the business, is she doing an interesting job? Now, note, we can't say she's fully doing a good job until we find out where Xbox and Xbox gaming is going in the future, where it's going to land, all that stuff. We're not going to know any of that until it is said and done. But at least she's saying the right things. I don't know if she's just saying the right things just to get everybody excited or try to get people back, which is like an almost impossible task, But yeah, she's trying to do some new new things, trying to take maybe some pages out of Phil Spencer's book, but doing it her way. She's got that fresh goodwill with Microsoft and Xbox because she came out of the AI division and all that. So I'm sure she's got an extra bunch of points with Nadella and everybody because she's young and new and fresh, and she's got the spunk to do it. And they did some new stuff, like they got the new Xbox logo for the Xbox Studios and Xbox in general, the new logo. And they have the new, they're announced coming very, very soon. Maybe soon enough that you'll see this yourself already before this podcast goes up, but who knows? It says firmware and update next week, but it could be soon. But a new Xbox boot up sequence has been revealed with the new Xbox logo. So, newly installed Xbox boss Asha Sharma revealed that the company's new console boot up sequence is going to go up live via firmware update next week. Sometime next week, probably Tuesday. Is that when they just do all their patches and everything? Sharma dropped the short clip, which features an animated version of the newly glossy and once again green Xbox logo on her social media, well as she refreshed, as well as a refreshed version of the brand's familiar boot up sound. So I guess it's going to have a cool boot up sound as well. She stated, "I can't wait for next Wednesday." So it's coming, it's dropping Wednesday, not Tuesday, but next Wednesday. When the boot up sequence arrives on your new console or on your console, pop up your headphones and press play below. Okay, I don't have to do that here. Unless if it does it play the sound? Oh, there we go. It's going to be loud. That is loud. I'll do it again. Sounds okay. Looks okay too. This was a little fast. I don't know if they made it faster so that the console could boot up a little bit, like a second faster, or if that's the whole thing, because it looks like it's missing a little bit, like, but who knows? Maybe this is when it's just on standby mode and it just quickly does that. I know this is like nothing in nothing land, and they're just, updating, putting a fresh coat of paint on everything on the Xbox or any and all that, and the logo and all that stuff. But as a gamer and as an apparent Xbox fanboy, not influencer, but Xbox fanboy, so I don't care if you like it or not. I as an Xbox gamer, sure, I want games. I want good stuff coming to Xbox and the Xbox for PC and all that stuff. But little stuff like this, it makes me to say, are they just doing smoke and mirrors and putting a new fresh coat of paint on something? Or are they actually doing this to renovate Xbox and Xbox gaming studios and stuff? So when they renovate it and they come out with the new machine, the Helix, that they're all set up and ready to take on everything with a fresh new look on everything, which I'm hoping that's what they're planning on doing. And that's why they're doing all this stuff now and saying, hey, people that are still with us with Xbox, here you go. We're doing all this little stuff, and then we'll do some better stuff down the road. And then hopefully when it's time to actually announce and show off and release the new Helix console, that you'll be ready to play and purchase a new box from us. And hopefully we can get more people on board with our dual Xbox PC console in the future. It's all marketing, it's all stuff, and it gets people that are into gaming and into the original Xbox and the look and the sound and stuff. It gets them go, ooh, look at that. They're actually doing something really good. Ooh. And me, I like it. I got this on my dashboard already. I got the background, the live background, as they call it, with the Xbox, new Xbox green logo, and it's all shiny and stuff like that. I got it on there. Why not? I'm a shill for that. Why not? I'm happy it's on there. And the new boot up sequence, I'm all for it too. Why not? Especially if it's 4 seconds long. If that's all it is, and it boots up and it only takes 4 seconds, that just makes it a lot faster to get into my gaming, and that's what we like. And I have my console on standby, so it's always on technically, and I just have to, start up a game or whatever, do whatever, and it boots up and it goes right into the dashboard and stuff right away. Sometimes I have it shut all the way down and I start all the way back up, but mostly I have it on, and it's so it could do its background updates and I could do my remote play and stuff like that. And like I said, I hope this adds up onto something new and exciting for the future of Xbox and stuff. But also with a new fresh coat of paint and a new fresh look on stuff, there is a little shadowish thing on the horizon that's coming to Xbox. And I don't know what, me and a lot of other people don't know exactly what this is going to mean. And we're not jumping to conclusions with this, even though it does seem like it's going a certain way. And also, a lot of people are saying, why are they bringing on more people? First off, here we go. Xbox boss Asha Sharma, again, announced leadership reshuffle and bid to move faster. So, what she's doing, she's bringing in former Microsoft AI colleagues of hers onto the Xbox team to help run stuff on Xbox, Team Xbox. Now, note she came from the Xbox Copilot or AI division. These other people that I guess she worked with that she knew, and these colleagues of hers that she probably liked enough that she felt like, oh, I could work with these people as well. And she thinks that Xbox, the gaming division, is moving too slowly and she wants it to get a bit faster, probably to get out more better games, try to get this new console on its feet, even though that's going to be a near impossible feat until we get the new memory and storage and all that chips sorted out, if that ever gets sorted out anytime soon. She needs to do all that. So she's bringing on a few former colleagues of hers from the AI division. She says Xbox needs to move faster, deepen our connection with the community, and address friction for both players and developers. Sharma stated, today we are promoting leaders who helped build Xbox while also bringing new voices to help push us forward. This balance is to improve as we get the business back on track. As part of the shift, you will see us begin to retire features that don't align with where we are heading. We will begin winding down Copilot on mobile and stop the development of Copilot on the console. So technically, she's getting rid of, some AI slop, as we used to say, on stuff, and that she doesn't think is a part of a gaming thing. Now, no, this is from an AI person and all of them. Now, no, she wasn't a part of the AI team for that long either. So how much of an AI person was she? And for the rest of the team, how much of AI people were they? Now, I'm going to say these are probably all super smart people, just like Asha Sharma. I'm not going to say they're not, because if you're working on something before like AI, you got to be pretty fucking damn smart to understand and do all that stuff and brainstorm and come up with strategies to get AI to work. Not that AI with Microsoft worked too well, but anyways, you needed people that knew and understanded it. Now, note, these are all people that technically, now behind the scenes, they probably play games and stuff, but they technically don't understand or know the business of gaming in the gaming business. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, how is this going to affect the gaming division of Xbox going forward? I don't know. We don't know. I'm sure they're all going to get trained and stuff like that. They're going to all get a big talking about the whole new on how the gaming division goes compared to everything else. And well, like I said, they could be all gamers themselves. They could all been playing video games. They might know some things. Plus, they work at Microsoft with everybody else, so they might know some things about the gaming. But getting into the gaming biz and learning to talk with other developers and third parties and hardware people and all that stuff, they're probably needing to learn some stuff and the industry as a whole. And right now, this is probably the best time out of any to do a nice a thing like this, because this is like some downtime for them, even though they are trying to do stuff and get stuff done and try to fix some prior mistakes and other stuff like that and trying to get the Xbox brand to look and feel a little bit better, lower some prices like they did on Game Pass and some other stuff. But they're doing little by little things of cleanup of the house a bit before they start renovating and doing some bigger stuff. And, you know, during that time, they could do all this little stuff, do all this fun little stuff, learn stuff. They can learn stuff behind the scenes. And then when it's time to get on the big stage and talk about the real stuff and get onto that, maybe they'll be coached up enough to learn and understand the business that is the gaming, as of gaming and gamers and all that stuff. And maybe they can do something to get people back on this. Now, a lot of people say, well, it's kind of useless. They're never going to get people back onto Xbox and blah, blah, blah. Everybody's in their own, worlds. The people that are on PlayStation are on PlayStation, or on Nintendo and stuff like that. Mostly they just say, well, the people that already went to PlayStation are going to stay on PlayStation because, that PlayStation is where their, digital libraries at and all that. But I'm like thinking, well, that's true. But also, if there's a way for Microsoft to convince them to come on over to the other side and offer stuff on this side and, do some things in the future that could get Xbox gamers or gamers in general to want to go to Xbox, there is some hope for that. There is some general, maybe people aren't as dedicated as they want to be with their digital purchases on like a PlayStation or something, because maybe they could go to the Xbox side or Xbox PC side if they don't want an Xbox, but they'll play on PC and they got more freedom, they got more openness, they got more backwards compatibilities is still a thing over at Microsoft and Xbox, and they're even talking about trying to bring more backwards compatible games back into the shuffle and stuff. So they got more of a culture there that is still, even though semi-destroyed by a certain Satya Nadella and his CFO, what's her name? I keep forgetting her name. But the CFO of Microsoft as well, that runs the money part of it, even though they were kind of ruining the Xbox brand a bit. And you can say Phil Spencer probably didn't fight as hard. Maybe he couldn't and stuff. And who knows, Sarah Bond, I hear a lot of people just didn't like her over in the company. But frankly, right now with all the goodwill and all the stuff with Asha Sharma and stuff like that, maybe the ship could be righted in a way where, offering people better discounts or something on their digital goods and services from other platforms. If they have them on this platform, maybe they can come here and still do all that. Plus, with the multi-platform thing still happening, sort of, depending if games go back to exclusivity again or not, who knows. But they could do a lot of stuff and have a lot of goodwill going forward to entice the people to maybe come back to Xbox, or maybe own a second box or third box, or maybe just come over to Xbox in general, because they'll be like, oh, the deals are coming from over there. There's a lot more stuff on Game Pass over there. There's a lot more openness over there than the PlayStation, and they're still all their studios are making a lot of games that are coming out, but not over here on PlayStation. And it's like, what does PlayStation have? Well, they still get the Call of Duty game, but they don't get anything else anymore, because frankly, the only thing that anybody was worried about in that whole Activision Blizzard thing was, everybody else going to get the Call of Duty? Is Call of Duty going to be on PlayStation still, on other PC platforms, like, other storefronts and stuff? Is it going to be on other people's streaming clouds? Is it going to be on Nintendo Switch too, which still we have not heard or seen anything on the Switch, which, you know what, I don't think anybody cares, or how many people really want to play Call of Duty on the Switch anyways. maybe a few that want to play Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty on the Switch 2 or something. But if you're gonna do it there, you might as well just get a ROG Ally or something like that and play it on that on a real handheld computer with more power and stuff. Because then nothing would be dumbed down, and because these Call of Duty games are so gigantic, I don't think they'll ever come to Nintendo Switch 2 unless if Nintendo does something special for them. I don't know, which I doubt they ever would. But otherwise, Microsoft, that aka Xbox division, the Xbox platform in general, they could just lock all that shit down. The only thing they have to put out for everybody else is Call of Duty, but they can lock everything else exclusively back down to just their console and the PC. And Sony doesn't get any of their games anymore. They got a little bit of their games now, but then they're going to pull the plug on all the newer games, and then it's going to be like, oh, what does Sony have coming out? Nothing. What does Sony got coming down the road? Nothing. Except for the Wolverine game that they keep talking about, and a few handful of other games. Wait, no, that other game, was that Saros? What was that other game that Sony brought out? And it just tanked again or something was tanking really bad and not doing well. I think it was Saros, right? Or am I wrong on that? Some game, another game that just did not catch with people, and it's like, yeah, on their side. And like I said, I don't want to harp on PlayStation people because shit, if Sony was gung-ho and they were still making killer first party games left and right, and they weren't all these open, other type of bullshit games, and I hate to say it, bullshit games, but live servicey whatever games, I would still probably have bought maybe a PlayStation if they would have stuff, even though I don't like their controllers nowadays. But otherwise, if they had the games, I would go back to play them. But now I'm just like, no, I'm never going to get a PlayStation ever again, especially when they started putting some of their PlayStation games on PC. I'm like, well, why do I need to go and get a PlayStation? I could play these on PC. And then it's like, well, we're pulling the plug on PC, but yet we don't got that many games. And it's like, we got Wolverine and some stuff, and it's going to cost us an arm and a leg to get these games out, like this Wolverine game. How are we ever going to make our money back on all this? And it's like, yeah. Oh, and then they say, well, when Grand Theft Auto comes out, that's going to help us out. That's going to save PlayStation and stuff. And I'm like, that's going to help out PlayStation because a lot of people play, Grand Theft Auto on PlayStation. And I'm like, okay, but if that's the only game, why not go on the Xbox side and play it? I don't know. I have like I said, after I went over from PlayStation to Xbox, like I said, I have not looked back. And like I said, I tried the PS4 out, and then after that, I was like, nope. Loved my PS3. Loved my PS2 and PS1. Those were great PlayStations. It's just, now it seems like there's nothing. It seems like the PlayStation and Sony is just so soulless over there. And I don't hear nothing from over there either. I hear nothing. And I'm trying to find news for them and this and that, at least good news, not the news story that you're going to hear from me. But I've been looking and searching, and it's like nothing. I hear nothing coming from them. And it still bounces off my head. I'm questioning, like, still people only want to buy PlayStations? And I'm like, where world am I at? What world? I know people hated on Xbox and Microsoft. I did too, but still, I'm still loyal to the Xbox brand for trying to continue to do stuff. It wasn't their fault that their parent company, their daddy, Microsoft, was going crazy. It's psychotic, AI psychotic. But yeah, I don't know. It just baffles me. And everybody has their own thoughts and stuff on this. And I'm like, well, let's give her a chance. I don't care for, she's pretty and all that, but if she's super smart, hopefully she can figure this stuff out. If she does play games, does that mean anything? I don't know. hopefully she learns the business quick. And, it shouldn't be too hard to learn the business, just get some business, go meet up with other, game tycoons out there and stuff, talk with them, learn, learn how to do that stuff and learn how to properly make good business decisions and make deals and, talk it up with other game developers out there and try to feel out the crumbling industry that is the video game industry right now. So, but I think she can learn it. She's young enough. I don't know what about the other people on her team, her colleagues. They might be old enough or young enough as well. Who knows? Probably. Gotta just give him a chance. And, the old guard, even though I'm gonna miss Spencer a lot, he tried. He tried he tried writing the ship, he tried doing all that, but sometimes you can't get enough buckets to bucket out that water. And then when that AI storm came a calling, it was just too much for Spencer. And at least he tried. He tried, and I guess he walked out gracefully on that. But she's doing more stuff as well. So she's trying to do more stuff as well. She just announced, for Microsoft as well, announces that that they're ending Copilot AI on Xbox to get the business back on track, and also with the app, I guess, as well. So, Copilot, aka the AI that's supposed to, I guess, help in decisions and stuff like that for video games and whatnot. She and them are getting rid of that. She says, no, we're getting rid of this AI out of the console. We're getting rid of Copilot out of the app and stuff like that. We're not going to develop it anymore. And she says, frankly, it doesn't belong. Doesn't belong in gaming. And it's like, wow. XAI person says AI doesn't belong in this part of the gaming business and consoles and stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because why? Focus on the games, focus on everything else. If this thing was supposed to work decently, like they said it was, to help people and gamers play their games if they were getting stuck or something, that would be okay. But I don't know. I think it was just Daddy Microsoft saying we need to put AI in everything. It was all because it was coming down from the top of the heavens and coming down to the people saying, hey, you got to put AI in everything. And she's like, well, I got the clout. Got to get rid of AI so we can get people back. So we can get all our so-called fans and gamers back onto this platform because they don't want AI. Nobody wants AI. AI is garbage, hot garbage. It's AI slop all the way. Now, like I said, I use a little bit of AI and it's okay here and there, but you throw it, you push it down our throats long enough, people are going to rebel. People are not going to like that. And I would too. So, she says in a report that there's been a significant leadership shakeup at Microsoft Xbox division, and if you're not a fan of AI, then you might want to avert your eyes. Xbox CEO Asha Sharma, who came into the role in February after spending 2 years as president of Microsoft's Core AI production division, has tapped at least 4 of her former Core AI fellows. This is talking about the people that she's getting from the AI division onto the Xbox leadership. For key roles in Xbox leadership. Jared Palmer, formerly vice president of Core AI, and prior to that, vice president of AI at AI company Vercel, don't know what it is the new vice president of engineering at Xbox and a technical advisor to Sharma. So he must know something about the electronics and the technical abilities of a console, stuff like that. He knows hardware stuff, so he must know something about that. If maybe he was working on with AI, and maybe you can use some of those little expertise from the AI part and put some more power into the next console or something. I don't know, maybe, or squeeze out more power of the new console that they're soon to be working on more so, and maybe squeeze out more power of the Xbox Series X and S. I don't know. Maybe for the time being. In a memo, let's see here. Yeah, Sharma stated Palmer will work directly with me in our most complex product and engineering problems with a focus on developer tooling, taste, and infrastructure. So, okay, stuff like that. So he's a tech guy. Tim Allen, not like everybody's saying, not the comic TV guy, Tim Allen. Senior Vice President of Core AI Design will lead design at Xbox, bringing together product design, design engineering, research, and creative with a fan-first focus. So, yeah, he did Core AI design. Maybe all these AI guys just didn't want to be a part of AI anymore, and they're just like, yeah, let's go into the gaming division. We're gamers. We love Xbox too. Maybe we can lend our expertise to get Xbox to go better, you know? But that's what I'm saying. And she knew them, so she knows how to work with these people. So, and then they can work with the other people and learn from them and vice versa to get stuff going. Even though it's not always the best to have people that don't know the core gaming business, but who do we know? Do we know that they don't know much of it? We know, like I said, they all worked in Microsoft. You never know who's working where and with who and what they know and they don't know, even though they're all a bunch of AI people. They're all leaving the AI division to do gaming. And she's taking out AI stuff out of the council and stuff. So you got to give it to them for that, you know. And they all know that nobody wants AI in the gaming at all, anything about gaming. Okay. So another one. Former Core AI head of growth, Jonathan McKay, will take on a similar role at Xbox, while former Core AI general manager Evan Chackey will lead a new forward developing engineering group focused on removing repetitive work, simplifying development, and improving how we operate. So getting games on track, making them better, getting the bugs and the infrastructure on gaming hardware better, maybe. I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing. That's just a general guess for me. At least one non-Microsoft executive has also been brought aboard. The good ship Xbox, David Scholos, previously a senior director of product growth at Instacart, is now head of subscriptions and cloud at Xbox. Okay. Which that makes sense for him because he was working at Instacart. That's all about money and subscriptions and stuff. Subscriptions and cloud at Xbox. There you go. I guess that works. As stated, she stated that we need to evolve how we work and how we are organized across platforms. Sharma wrote in a memo, right now it's too hard to ship impact quickly. We spend too much time inward instead of with the community, and we lack the depth we need in some of the fundamentals. Palmer confirmed his move on X, where he stated that he'll be focused on building world-class tool services and experiences for developers and players across the Xbox ecosystem. An Xbox rep confirmed with PC Gamer that the CNBC report is accurate. Okay, whatever on that. I'm just reading the rest of the stuff. I don't need to read the rest of this stuff. Let's just say it's going to be interesting when they bring inside Xbox. But, the thing is, when Xbox became Xbox, do you think any of those original people that created the Xbox division in the first place knew anything about Xbox, that knew anything about the gaming division, that were anything? They were gamers, but they didn't know the industry. I'm thinking this is just like how it was for the first Xbox, where it was a bunch of people that were excited to work on a project like that, to build something, to create and design something, to get something into the hands of the people to play games, interact with, and create an ecosystem that people will enjoy for centuries, years and centuries to come. I'm thinking what Sharma's trying to do with her group of people. Maybe they're all gamers behind the scenes, like she says. She does some gaming, behind the scenes. Maybe a lot of these other people do a lot of gaming. Maybe they're into gaming and entertainment and stuff. Maybe they all were like, maybe we do want to, maybe they were talking with her and they're like, hey, we would love to go on the Xbox division. We love gaming. We would love to get this next Xbox out there, make the future of Xbox bright and stuff again, and get people on there because, and see cool games being made and stuff. We'd like to do all that stuff, and we'd like to learn and stuff. Maybe and then their expertise on a lot of stuff. Maybe bringing in some outsiders that are not in the internals that is Xbox division now, which a lot of people are saying, well, these people have been in the Xbox division have been there for a while. Yes, but look at how the Xbox division has not done the best job that it could have done, since the Matrix days, which Don Matrix and executives and people fucked the Xbox division up for a while. And then you had Phil Spencer and crew trying to clean that up. And now it's like, well, could be that new birth of Xbox. This could be as you can tell, they redid the logo and the green. They're redoing a lot of this core stuff that people knew Xbox is. They're calling, it's back to being called Xbox Game Studios and not Microsoft Game Studios. It's Xbox Game Studios again. You notice it's all like a refresh. So this could be like the second coming of Xbox. Actually, technically, it's the fourth coming because you got Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Series X and S. So maybe fifth coming. But this is going to be the new, fresh coming. This is going to be like Jesus rising from the grave again and coming anew, making this like, oh, this is our chance to make this new next-gen Helix console or whatever the best it can be to play games on the both worlds and bring people in from PC and Xbox gaming alike that can't afford maybe the hardware of the future, and they can play both these types of games on this one system and play all their games on this one system and not worry about compatibility and stuff. Like maybe they're thinking of outside that box beyond what the Helix is now and thinking we can do a lot with this system. This could be the new console of the future that will, bring the masses back in because we'll have all the exclusives again. We'll bring most of the catalog back in except for, like Call of Duty and some games that are contractually obligated to be released on other platforms right now and stuff. But for all the other games, we'll just make them better. We'll get the teams working on them better, and we'll just keep them behind our wall again. And then, other people like Sony have to catch up. Nintendo doesn't have to worry because nobody worries about Nintendo because they're even if you like them or you hate them, and sometimes I'm not too fond of Nintendo and you hear me complain about them, they're still the Apple of the video game world. And you know what? They print money left and right, no matter what goes on. But otherwise, I'm like, maybe they need some of the outsiders to come into the Xbox gaming division to fix it, to fresh new paint. But we'll see. We'll see in months to come to see what they can be doing and what they could be doing for all this future of gaming and stuff. That's all we can do, and enjoy our games that we're going to get on Game Pass and stuff like that for as long as Game Pass survives. I hope it survives. I hope that Game Pass becomes the new gold of the future, and that Xbox, like they said, for the future of paying for gaming online is going to maybe go away, especially with the Helix coming. Then maybe Game Pass will be that new staple for them, where they're making money off of Game Pass, that people are subscribing to it because of the games that they get with it and the value and other stuff that might come on the Game Pass for us. And, then everything's peachy, and then everybody can play their games for free, basically, online, wherever they go. And then if you're paying for Game Pass, then you don't even have to buy the games. You get the games right there in the Game Pass, and you just go, hey, I already got this game. Let's go and play it, Unlike a PlayStation or something where you got to spend your $70 and do this and that. Hence why I still love Game Pass, because it saves me a fortune. And talking about Game Pass, I know this should be just for the games news section, but let's talk about some of the games that are coming out soon for Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass for May of 2026, which is going to be, IGN states here, that it looks like a massive month for the now cheaper Xbox Game Pass, that it's going to be a big month for everybody and all these games on Game Pass. So they say it's the Wave 1 lineup. They always say that for Xbox Game Pass for May 2026. And coming soon, we got for May 6th, which is already, right? What's today as I'm recording this? This is May 7th, so it's already out. So when you're listening or watching this, it's already out. So May 6th, Ben 10 Power Trip. Not for me, but okay. In-game preview on May 6th, which is also passed. Descenders Next, another game. So you can get that with cloud, console, and PC. Now with Game Pass Premium, joining Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass. Okay. Wheel World for cloud, Xbox Series X and S and PC, May 6th as well. Now with Game Pass Premium, joining Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass. Meaning Premium is getting the games that Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass have. That's what they're meaning. Wildgate for also cloud, Xbox Series X and S and PC, May 6th. So a lot of these are May 6 games so far. We got one more May 6 games after Wildgate, and that's Wuchang Fallen Feathers. This was on Game Pass before. I didn't care for it. I tried playing this game. I didn't care for it the first time. I'm probably not going to try to play it again this time. I just did not. I tried. I just could not get through that. It was very, very tough for me, especially for the blocking. I can't block. I'm not good at blocking. I just want to beat them up. That's it. And it was tough at the beginning for me. I'm just not that guy. I cannot, what do you call it? What do they call that? Spar. I cannot, what's that called? Shit. I cannot block. I'm not good at blocking, timed blocking and stuff like that's what I call it. But Wuchang Fallen Feathers is coming back to cloud, Xbox Series X, S, and PC. That's already out now, May 6th. So if you want to play that again or try it out again, go ahead. I'm not. Coming out May 7th, that's today, which I am going to play, which I'm going to announce now as of today as I'm recording this, May 7th. This weekend, I may do a first gameplay of this game, and that is going to be Mixtape. I've been waiting for this game for a little while now. I've been interested in it. So I might be doing a little Mixtape first gameplay over the weekend and putting it out as a video. So Mixtape, if you didn't know, is with a lot of music. I know this is going to be like copyright bullshit for YouTube, this video. So I'm going to get ready for it. But yeah, Mixtape it looks really good. Look at the trailer for Mixtape. It looks like a really good game. It's coming out for cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC May 7th with Game Pass Ultimate and Game Pass for PC only. Like I said, I've been waiting for Mixtape for a while. Let's see here if I got a link for it. They gave it a 10. Well, IGN gave it a 10. Others gave it 8.3. It's being released by Beethoven and Dinosaur. I think it's just a cultural game. It's got a bunch of teenagers listening to music, doing some stuff, and it's a game. As IGN puts it, it's a masterpiece, a musical delight from start to finish. Mixtape sets a new standard for coming-of-age stories in video games and does so with a masterful sense of style. So, yeah, get ready for this. And it's out on, like I said, on the Xbox platforms and PC, but also Switch and PlayStation as well. It's an adventure game, they say. Like I said, I've been very interested on this when I seen this, and I said to myself, oh, I got to play this game, and I'm going to this weekend. after the podcast and all, and I am going to be trying it out. And like I said, hopefully do a first gameplay of it and put it out, and hopefully YouTube and everybody doesn't beat me up for it. But yep, try it out. And being a Game Pass person, you get to play it first. Well, not first, but you get to play it. Well, first, because it comes out today. You can play it and not have to pay for it. Let's just say that. Next game, Outbound for Cloud Console and PC, May 11th for Game Pass Ultimate and Game Pass PC. Black Jacket, Cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC, May 12th for Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass. Call of the Elder Gods. Don't know what this is, but Cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC, May 12th for Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass, of course. Elite Dangerous. Now, I got to look at this one more time. I do remember this and hearing about this before. I think it was okay. I think they said it was okay. They gave it a 7.4 here on IGN, but that's just them. But Elite Dangerous coming May 12th for console and cloud for Game Pass Ultimate and Game Pass Premium. Doom the Dark Ages is coming back, which is weird. Or, wait. Yeah, this is a weird one. Doom the Dark Ages, cloud, Xbox Series X and S, handheld, and PC, May 14th. Now with Game Pass Premium, joining Game Pass. Oh, so now it's coming to Game Pass Premium. Okay, so Doom the Dark Ages is now going to be on Game Pass Premium, joining the Ultimate and PC Game Pass. Gotcha. Because I'm like, wait a second. Doom the Dark Ages has been out for a long time, but I guess Game Pass Premium didn't get it ready? Okay. This game, a lot of people been interested in. I'm probably not much of it as myself, but Subnautica 2 game preview for Xbox Cloud, Series X and S, handheld, and PC, May 14th. I do not know much about Subnautica or Subnautica 2. I know you're going in underwater in a sub, I'm guessing. So it says here a summary. Submerge yourself in a new adventure with Subnautica 2, an open water survival game from the creators of Subnautica series. Play alone or with friends as you explore alluring biomes and discover fascinating creatures. Craft vehicles, tools, and bases to survive the mysterious alien world. This is the one that's been in the news a lot because Krafton was trying to screw Unknown Worlds Entertainment and their making of the game and giving them bonuses and stuff like that. You heard about that. And then they brought back the CEOs of Unknown Worlds Entertainment, and there's been a lot of hoopla around that. But it's out the 14th, so everybody will be able to play this May 14th and try it out. Maybe I'll try it out. I don't know. I doubt it. But a lot of people talked very highly about the first Subnautica. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that because I know nothing really about it except for what I read in the description. And then the biggest game that I think is the biggest game coming out May 19th. And I talked about this, and I'm definitely doing a first gameplay. And I'll probably end up doing a stream as well. So when's May 19th? Let me triple check when May 19th is right here. That is going to be a Tuesday. So, okay. So I'll do a first gameplay like on that Tuesday. And then on the 22nd, on the Friday, I will do something bigger. I will do a nice stream of it as well instead of Assassin's Creed Shadows. So get ready for me to do a first gameplay and a stream of Forza Horizon 6. Which is going to be in Japan. And you know me, I'm a big Japanese Asian fan. I cannot wait. Where you can do driving in Japan. And this is coming out for Cloud, Series X and S, handheld, and PC, May 19th for Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass. Or you can buy it for $70 on all their consoles. Because I think, is it coming out on? No, maybe not. Is it not coming out on PC? Or, I mean, not out on PlayStation. Let me check. Nope, it's coming out on PlayStation. So it's coming out for PC, Series X and S, and PlayStation for Forza Horizon 6. So yes, you PlayStation folks can play it as well. congratulations. You will be able to get at least another Forza Horizon game under your belts. Yes, I'm very excited for Forza Horizon 6. If there wasn't a Game Pass, I'd be definitely buying Forza Horizon 6 for $70 anyways, but because I got Xbox Game Pass, I don't have to spend $70 on that. So I'm saving $70 on Forza Horizon 6 and I'm saving $70 on Mixtape, which technically, how much would Mixtape be? Actually, let me check how much Mixtape. Maybe it's a $20 game. I'm loading up my Xbox thing right now on the PC here to see how much Mixtape is. But those were the two biggest games for me. Mixtape and Forza Horizon 6. So let's go on to Mixtape here. I know it's on Game Pass and I'm going to download you. I can install you right now. Maybe this is a bad time to install this, but I'm going to install it anyways. So if there's any hitching in this video, it's only $17.99 if you buy it on Xbox for PC here. So I'm guessing it's only going to be $17.99 on the Xbox in general, or it's $20 otherwise for Mixtape. But it's on sale for $17.99. I'm probably going to play and maybe beat it but without doing that. I don't know. But it's already got positive reviews. There's 2 reviews on this so far, and it's positive. I'm downloading it, installing it now on my PC. And that doesn't seem like a bad price for it. For what it is. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played it yet. So you won't know until this weekend, folks. But 2 games right there and then. 2 games. And that, like I said, Mixtape is like $20 if it wasn't on sale. $17, $20. And then if you would have bought Forza Horizon 6, and if we would have had, if I would have had to buy Forza Horizon 6 and not have it on Game Pass, that's $70 plus sales tax. So that would have been 70, 80, 90. That's almost $100 right there in free gaming right there. And then if you're also into Subnautica 2, which I know a lot of people are, that's probably another, I'm not going to say how much it's going to be, but another chunk of change. So that's well over $100 right there. And then, you got Doom the Dark Ages that's been out for a while, but not for everybody, but still. And then I'm sure there's other games on here that you might like Wuchang Fallen Feathers. I know some people might like that. And I'm sure there's some other games on that list people might like. But still, that's right there for those 2 games. That's almost $100 in gaming right there. That I'm only spending, now $27 a month for? Because I got sales tax and stuff here in New York. But can't go wrong with that, folks. You cannot go wrong with that. I do not know what else can they do. I think Game Pass has never. I never felt like I was overpaying for Game Pass, even with the $30 price tag. But that's just me, because I play a lot of games, and it gives me my value. But now that it's cheaper again, it makes me even feel like more of a value if it's only $25 plus sales tax and stuff, which is $27 for me. There are some games that are leaving Game Pass on May 15th. Galactic Care for Cloud Console and PC. Go Mecha Ball, Cloud Console and PC. Celebra and the Souls of Limbo, Cloud Console and PC. Don't know what those are. Paw Patrol Rescue Wheels Championship, Cloud Console and PC. Planet of Lana, Cloud Console and PC. So games that probably don't mean anything to any of us. Maybe to one of you out there, but maybe most of us not too much. But that's okay. But shit, we're going to be getting Forza Horizon 6, so we're going to be driving. I'm going to be doing some driving pretty soon. Oh, I cannot wait to play that game on my Xbox Series X. Or Xbox, Series X, but my Xbox handheld, my Xbox ROG LAX. I can't wait to play a Forza Horizon game on that again. That's gonna blow me away. And Mixtape, I might be able to play just Mixtape it on there as well. But big lineup. When they said it was a big lineup, it was a big lineup. Well worth the money. And like I said, will this continue for us? Will Asha Sharma and them do some big plans for that? Will will they get this ball rolling even more? Because, people are consumers and gamers and everybody are skittish and price sensitive as ever can be in these trying times. And, huh, but it makes me happy. I'm happy to be a gamer still. Still happy to be a gamer. Even with all the bullshit that's been going on, of all the shit that's been happening all around the industry of layoffs and canceled games, I still don't know what's going on with that one game that one Yakuza like game. I gotta look that up eventually because I have heard nothing. We were supposed to hear maybe something about it now, but it's been silent. And I'm thinking that studio's closed down and nothing's being said about it. What was it called? Gang of Dragons? Is that what it was called? Hold on one second. Okay, so the game Gang of Dragons from Nagoshi Studios that I was just talking about what's going on because we were supposed to maybe we'd find out something about it right now or not. I might be speaking about this too early, but I'm looking at it early. So Yakuza series creators new studio deletes YouTube channel, sends fans into a panic, then puts it back up. Okay, whatever. So yeah, fans of the Yakuza games were sent into a panic when it was revealed that the studio started by series co-creator Toshihiro Nagoshi after he left Ryogoko Studios, RGG Studios, to make a spiritual successor. Gang of Dragon had seemingly deleted its YouTube channel amid greater concerns that the parent company, NetEase, was preparing to pull funding, but today it was back up, I guess. I don't know. I don't know nothing about this until now because I'm just reading this news right now from Kotaku. The missing YouTube channel was discovered by fans posting to Reddit yesterday who claimed that the YouTube channel and the Gang of Dragon trailer were both gone. This claim was repeated by a number of others over the course of the day, leading to the growing panic among fans that Nagoshi Studio was no more. Well, there are certainly plenty of reasons to be worried about Nagoshi Studio, and the timing of all this was concerning. The actual deletion of the channel was a little less dramatic than it seems on its face. For one, the Gang of Dragon trailer hasn't been deleted. The official Gang of Dragon trailer version used by Nagoshi Studio in all promotions is one from the Game Awards 2025, where the game was announced. That trailer is still up. As far as they can tell from looking through Wayback Machine and through various news articles from the time, Nagoshi Studio never posted the trailer to its own channel and thus never could have deleted it, blah, 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 blah. Additionally, this isn't exactly a massively popular account with tons of videos. It only had a few hundred followers. It simply had one video posted on it prior to deletion, an unlisted 1.21 long music video. Okay. Let's see here. Back in November 2024, it being deleted wasn't nothing. It had more of a feel of an individual creator casually shutting down an unused account than a studio going dark, blah, 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 blah. Let's see here. Let's see here. First off, we don't know anything. It's basically not saying anything new here, but they don't know anything about what's going on with the studio or anything that's going on with the game yet. Yeah, I hope this game eventually does come. I hope the studio does get some funding one way or another, if it's through a Patreon or something or other, or some other studio buys them or whatever. I don't know. I hear it's a lot of money. I hear they needed a lot of money. What do they need, like 50 mil or something? Maybe NetEase might change its mind and give them funding. I don't know. hard for game developers out there sometimes. And I was just wondering about that because I was very interested in something like that. And it, it's May, and they said by May they were supposed to lose. They were supposed to not have any more money left. So we'll wait and see. Maybe in the next few weeks or so, we'll find out what's going on. If they're still making a game, if they're not making a game, if something else is going on, and it's going to be kind of interesting what might happen to this, and not in a good way. Unless if they can change it all around and get this game out and whatnot. Now I know they were trying to get funding from NetEase, but couldn't they go to a bank to get funding for this game? I don't know. I don't know what the legalese there, and if NetEase has to get compensated for stuff, and a lot of legal stuff, lots of paperwork, lots of legal stuff. Let's see here. Before we get into the Gamez Talk Newz, let's see here. Already talked about the games I played in the past week. Talked about making small steps for consumer goodwill for Xbox. Already talked about that. Gaming at 40 plans. So, folks, I will be 40 years old. If you care or don't care. If you don't care, I don't care. If you don't care, I'm just saying. I'm going to be 40 years old this June. And I am thinking, I don't know for sure, I am thinking and planning some stuff for my 40th birthday / gaming that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be around, this Xbox showcase and the games, whatever that's going on during the summer, the Keeley Games summer showcase stuff going on. For my 40th birthday though, and plus this site's gonna be up. What has it been up like 3-4 years now? I forget. I started this back when E3 was dying. But I might want to try to celebrate in some way. I don't know yet. I gotta look up some stuff. Still in early days, but I was thinking of maybe doing some 40 giveaways or something like that. I don't know yet. I want to try to get more people to sign up for my YouTube page. Not that I make any money from any of this or anything. I just want to get more people on, get more people on board, put out the word a little bit, and maybe try to get more of a following so people might watch my stupid videos and listen to me and stuff and listen to my podcast or whatnot. It's always good if you word of mouth, if you guys all tell people about OldFreakyGamer.com, OldFreakyGamer on YouTube and stuff like that. And, push out the message, push out the word. Like I said, I plan on maybe doing some stuff. We'll see if it works out or not. I would like to do something for my 40th birthday, give out some gifts, stuff like that. Maybe I'll give out some games, some codes. Who knows? I'm just thinking of how I'm going to do it. I might have to do it with email addresses, which you'd have to email me at oldfreakygamer@gmail.com for that stuff and send me like a screenshots. That's what I'm thinking of. That'd be the easiest way. Subscribe to my channel, stay on it, send me screenshots that you subscribed, who you are and stuff like that. And then I can email you back and say, hey, whatever, if I need an address to send you something, or if I give you a game code or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm planning on doing. Was thinking of that. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should give some gifts out for my 40th for this stuff. Because shit, I don't feel 40. I feel younger than 40. I feel really good right now. Feel really good right now. And, but I'm 40. I cannot believe I'm 40 already. And I just want to celebrate my own weird way. And what's a better way to celebrate? By giving out gifts to people like you that support me by watching my stuff and enjoying it. That's all I want, is people to watch my content. Maybe if you want to ask me some questions or comment or whatever, go ahead. I like that stuff too. And just enjoy. Like I said, I don't do any of this stuff for money. It's all free. The only commercials that you get are my stupid commercials, like I'm saying I sell on eBay, and I do have a Mr. Mike's tip jar, but you know what? I don't do no ads, do not do no commercials, do not do none of that stuff. If you see or hear any commercials or anything else, that's from third parties. That's from YouTube. That's from Spotify. That's from somebody else, not me. So if I say I'm not doing any commercials and stuff, make sure you watch my YouTube channel. Make sure you watch my stuff on OldFreakyGamer.com. Make sure you listen to my podcast through Podbean, because that's where I post through, is Podbean mainly, but you can get on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and et cetera as well. The podcast. And, but yeah, 40 years I've been on this planet. And still thankful. Thankful to be a gamer and into a lot of geeky shit. But like I said, plan on playing a lot of games during my birthday / vacation, and plan on doing some special stuff. And like I said, if I come up with some interesting stuff, maybe some giveaways, stuff like that, and maybe you guys would be interested in it. Just a thought. So everybody, be on the lookout for that. I'll have more information in the upcoming weeks. We still got some time before June comes around the corner, and I will let you guys know. So why don't we get into the games news? That is the games news of the show. So why don't we get into that next? Now.
Locked and loaded, ready for the fight. Game Talk Newz, gonna set the stage alight. Mr. Mike's got the scoop, he ain't holding back. Dropping bombs on the gaming industry track. Hear the thunder, feel the roar. Game Talk Newz, gonna settle the score. From E3 to PAX, they got it all. The highs and lows, ready to brawl.
There we go. As I like to kill it before it ends. In the Gamez Talk Newz, we got a few stories here. We're going to get through them very quickly because this is going to be the shortest podcast I ever did. No, actually not. I did shorter, but still, this is pretty short for what I usually do. It's almost 2 hours. To kick it all off, unfortunately, I got bad Sony news. Well, not for you people, for you Sony fans out there, for you Sony people that are on the Sony PlayStation platform, you're going to get something out of this. But Sony's expected to pay $7.8 million in PlayStation refunds after the PSN lawsuit settlement gets preliminary approval from California judge. So select PlayStation users may be eligible for refunds tied to the digital PSN purchases after a judge offered a preliminary approval for a class action lawsuit settlement. As announced by Savory Law Firm LLP, a judge for the United States District Court of the Northern District of California recently preliminary approved payments totaling in $7.85 million to resolve claims related to the Kakari et al. Versus Sony Interactive Entertainment LLC class action lawsuit. The case alleges that Sony violated federal antitrust law and certain state laws, as well as eliminated competition and monopolized the market for Sony digital games, resulting in higher prices for some consumers. As explained on the PlayStation Digital Games Settlement website, the settlement class eligible for payment includes those who from April 1st of 2019 to December of 31st of 2023 purchased a digital game via the PlayStation Store was previously available through a game-specific voucher at retail. So why is this going from 2019 to 2023? We're in 2026 right now, so that's been a long time for this thing going on, I guess. Those who fit the settlement class definition and have a active PlayStation Network account are automatically included in the settlement class as detailed in the settlement filing dated April 8th, 2026. Class Settlement class members will receive compensation in form of cash value, PlayStation Network account credits. Of course, something that Sony does not really have to play or pay because it just goes right back into their pockets because all you're doing is getting a credit on your PlayStation Network account. So really, who are they paying? A lawyer? Some lawyers and stuff? Okay, whatever. Those who qualify but have deactivated the PlayStation Network accounts are encouraged to contact the 877 number located on the top right corner of the settlement website or reach out with qualifying details via mail. These members of the settlement class may receive compensation equal in value to the PlayStation Network credits. The list of games eligible include more than 100 titles. Popular games shown on the list include titles like the God of War collection, Killzone Shadowfall, Until Dawn, The Last of Us, Little Big Planet 3, Jackbox Party Pack, NBA 2K18, Star Wars Battlefront, Destiny, the collection, and more. Whew. So basically, they were double dealing on credits. Okay. And it's funny. These people are talking about, oh, yeah, I'm going to get $2.35. Woohoo. And then this guy's joking. Now multiply the $2.35 times millions of users. That's quite a substantial bill for Sony to pay up. No, it isn't, because it's all going back in their pockets because it's all PlayStation Network money. Unless if they're not a part of the network and they're calling in or mailing in stuff as well. But anyways, small lawsuit. Sony trying to take advantage of consumers by overcharging, doing that whole, payment upping and downing. What do they call that? Payment price what is that called? Price, not gouging, but price what's that called? The price upping and downing. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to even think about it because we're almost done with the podcast. Price fluctuations. I'm thinking of it. I'm getting it closer to that. Price fluctuations. The price, depending on who you are, region and stuff, they can change the price at any time. That kind of bullshit. Take-Two CEO explains why GTA 6 isn't coming to PC on day one. It's because Rockstar Games does things their own way. And for years and years of Grand Theft Auto games coming out, GTA has always been a console-first game, like we would always say about. And then eventually, Rockstar, when GTA whatever gets done selling so many copies on the consoles first, then they port it to PC. That's how it's been, and that's just like Zach Strauss-Zelnick has said, talking about it from being the CEO of Take-Two, said, hey, that's what they're doing now in 2026. And as the parent company of Take-Two, we're not going to tell them any different until they fuck up or something. But yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do, and that's what Rockstar does. And I like it. I love hearing people still whine and complain. It's not on PC day one. Why is it not on PC day one? It should be on PC day one. And I'm like, because Rockstar never put any games of their games on PC day one. None of them. Maybe the original. Maybe like GTA. The first GTA was PC. But otherwise, it was always console first. And that's how it's always been for generations, since I was a little tyke. So I don't know why the people nowadays still think that this is... Because I know we come in a world where everything comes to PC first and consoles and stuff as well. But because, this will sell big on consoles first compared to PC. And plus they also worry about, piracy more on the PC still. Probably they're still more scared about piracy and shit on the PC, and their game stuff getting ripped out of the game and used in porno and stuff like that. And all the characters and stuff, they like to keep that as close to the belt for as long as possible first. On top of it, the sad thing, which is I don't think is nope, it's not in this article. Apparently, I think what I don't know if this was from Strauss Zelnick, Take-Two CEO, or if it was like the Take-Two in general, the company or its shareholders. But they're saying, I heard rumors that said they got to sell at least 200 million. What was it? Like 100? Not. I think it was over 100 million copies. What was that? Let me look this up for a sec, folks. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I was overblowing that on the news on that, but yeah, GTA 6 they state has to sell at least 25 million copies on day one to meet industry expectations. Analysts predict that even selling around 10 million copies would consider it a disappointment due to the game's massive budget and high production costs. So apparently, because I was thinking it was more than that, but I was wrong. I was really overblowing it because it's right now, what is it, 100 something million copies sold for GTA 5? But they're predicting that at least 25 million copies have to be sold day one for GTA 6 on consoles. 25 million copies on day one for GTA 6 to be a success because of its budget and stuff like that. That's a lot of copies. But yes, we do see games that sell like 100 million copies and stuff like that. So if GTA 6 and GTA in general is still as big as it's been and the game is good, people still have the consoles to play it on and et cetera, because you're not going to factor in PC and you can't factor in the new consoles yet because they're not going to come out for a bunch of years, and it's not coming out on older consoles. So the Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 is the only consoles that this thing's going to be on. It's not going to be on Steam or anything else. So 25 million copies, it's possible. It's possible. It's possible. We'll find out. I'm gonna skip this one. This one's not even an actual thing. Nintendo under pressure to raise Switch 2 price as hardware is currently being sold at a loss, apparently. Now, haven't I reported this a lot of times and talked about this, and a lot of other people talked about this many times, that Nintendo mostly never sells their consoles at a loss? That they always made a lot of profit off of their consoles on top of their software. I'm guessing that's changed now in the hardware world that we're living in now, that everything is way more costly and harder to get to produce out there, and that this machine is way more powerful and it takes more compute power and memory and blah, 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 blah. Hence the price tag of almost a $500 price tag out there. Wow. So apparently Nintendo is reporting facing pressure to raise the price of the Switch 2 consoles as costs rise and its share price continues to fall, apparently. A new report by Bloomberg has highlighted the continuing decline of Nintendo stock, despite a positive bump in March due to the launch of the Switch 2 exclusive Pokemon Poketopia, not ahead of the company's next financial earnings release this coming Friday, which that's tomorrow for me, but you won't hear it. Nintendo faces scrutiny from shareholders over whether it will finally budge on the Switch 2 price after raising the price of pretty much everything else for the console, meaning all the accessories and hardware and stuff like that. Nintendo and the games, of course, the game prices went up too as well. Nintendo Switch 2 launched last June at $150, and in Japan, a region-locked version of the Switch of the console is sold at 50,000 yen, equivalent to $318. Both of these prices reportedly see hardware sold at a loss, particularly so in Japan. So exactly how much of a loss Switch 2 is sold at isn't clear, though one analyst stated to Bloomberg that even a $50 to $100 price increase would mean the console was made less of a burden rather than truly profitable. That seems very expensive. And if they were to raise the console price $50 or $100, you're just making that Switch 2 even more of a non-purchasable item for families and kids, unless people will have that in their households. And on top of that, if you raise the price even more, that's going to be less people buying 2 Switch 2s for multiple people, unlike the first Switch. So you're fucked if you do, you're fucked if you don't. Nintendo is fucked both ways, because if they don't, then they're losing more money on hardware. If they do, then less people are going to buy their hardware because it's going to be significantly more priced, higher priced. Oh, poor Nintendo, Apple, the video game industry. Maybe they got to release more games for it so they can make up on that price tag and stuff like that. But yeah, that's why I hate shareholders, folks. That's why I hate corporations, because shareholders are the epitome of shit of the corporations. And also, they can hurt corporations and eventually kill corporations because, it's all about the money, hence why they're shareholders. But they get too overbearing and they think this has got to get more and more, but they don't understand there's a very delicate pricing thing here going on here, especially for a device that is made for families and kids and families. That's what Nintendo's always been, even though there's more hardcore games on it from third parties. For their core, they're like, this is for kids, this is for families. Kids and their families aren't going to buy one of these if it's $600 like the PlayStation and Xbox. Then they'll just get a PlayStation or Xbox, And it says also here, while hardware makers have frequently sold consoles at a loss, leaders in the past opting to instead make their money back on software and accessories, Nintendo had ditched this strategy for the original Switch following the bruising losses of the Wii U era, but it then apparently changed course to ensure the hugely successful Switch was followed by another hit console at a price point that would be convenient to customers to upgrade. The question of whether Nintendo will increase the Switch 2's cost comes now amid the continued decline in the company's share price over the past year. The record highs seen ahead of the Switch 2's arrival, this despite the console selling well, especially in Japan. A bid with international sales over Christmas were somewhat slower than hoped. Still, analysts believe that the Nintendo's continued refusal to increase the Switch 2's cost, that it's impacting the company's value. Who cares? As long as they're making money and they're selling stuff, who cares? I don't think they really care. They want to make this stuff so they can sell more software. Because like I said, if you raise the hardware costs, you're fucking yourself anyways, because less people are going to buy the console. Look at what Xbox has done for Xbox with the expensive console. Look what it's doing slowly to PlayStation. Look what it's doing to other hardware manufacturers out there. Let's see here. Nintendo itself has hinted it may need to increase the Switch 2's price at some point after previously upping the cost of the Switch 2 accessories, including alternative higher pricing for physical Switch 2 games, and even giving a price hike to the aging Nintendo Switch 1. Yes, which I still have mine. And of course, Nintendo will not be alone in upping the cost of its current console, however, because both Sony and Microsoft also have done that over the past years. And now with, not beyond tariffs, but yet the uncertainty now due to the conflict in the Middle East again, because they're bullshit and everything else in the world. But the article includes that Nintendo must now strike a delicate balance. Any Switch 2 price raise to appease shareholders simultaneously risks upsetting consumers and slowing Switch 2's rollout at what it's still an early phase of its life cycle, meaning less sales. The the user base is sizable for its first year, 17 million as of December 31st, but still a fraction of the long-lived Switch 1 at 155 million to date. How long can Nintendo hold off a price rise? Only time will tell. And everybody on the board says, I don't think anybody even cares about the Switch 2 too much, and I don't think anybody will want to buy one if the price increase hits the Switch 2. Yes, exactly. Let's see here. My thing is, I'm not going to get a Switch 2 unless if they ever came out with a Switch 2 Lite or something like that, or the OLED Switch 2. That's what I was saying. And holding off on buying a Switch 2 right now has just been hunky-dory for me. Not that I wouldn't want, like I said, eventually I would like to buy a Switch 2, but I just want to see some games for it. I want to see some big games for it. I know they got some games that people like, but and like the the Donkey Kong Bonanza and stuff, but I yet to see or hear anything from a Mario game coming from the Mario Company, which they should be coming out with Mario games. I'm sorry, but you're the Mario Company and you don't have a fucking Mario game coming out for me at launch. So where's my Mario game, Nintendo? First off, and second off, yes, they don't have that many games that I am truly wanting right now. So there's no reason for me to buy a Switch 2 right now. And like I said, I was waiting for an OLED version or a light version of the Switch 2 down the road, which the Switch 2 Lite could happen. If they want to make us, maybe if they wanted to try to get out a cheaper form-fitting Switch 2 for people to buy, maybe a Switch 2 Lite might help them into selling more Switch 2s down the road, if they can even get one made and out the door. I don't know. It's a fucked if you do it, fucked if you don't. Like I said, it's something Nintendo, even they have to deal with. And like I said, they're the Apple of the video game industry, and shareholders are shareholders, and they're fucking bunch of raggedy ass motherfuckers out there. I hate shareholders. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'd be more, I don't know, sensible shareholder, unless if the company was doing some really fucked up shit. If it was doing like what Microsoft's doing right now and doing all the AI bullshit and stuff, then I'd be an evil shareholder. But if it's Nintendo and they can't control anything, I'd be like, okay, I understand. You're trying to keep it going good. You're trying to make us money here. Okay, I'm good. I'm not gonna complain. We'll see what we'll see. But oh man, publicly traded companies, the worst thing ever. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they raise the Switch 2 price. Because like I said, if they do, and that console goes up in price because they are been pushed by shareholders, consider the Switch 2 flatline for a very long time until they lower the price again, which that would be freaking weird, because then it would be like the Nintendo DS or 3DS. Was it the Nintendo 3DS or DS? I think it was the 3DS, when they had to lower the price, or they gave us stuff because it was they overcharged and nobody was buying it, and then they gave us all discount. You remember that fiasco? Not too many remember that, but they overcharged. They knew that they overcharged for the 3DS, and yeah, I remember that. I got some free games from it and stuff. Yeah, those were the days. But hey, I hope Nintendo figures it out. I would say get a damn Mario game out, but that's just me. See, Mario, he's right behind me, the other side. He's got his money right there. Misa Mario, Misa want to come out and make money. Sell some Mario games, Nintendo. I don't know. And then final games news here. Reggie Fils-Aimé, former Nintendo CEO of America, was talking about it. I guess he was promoting a book or something or whatever. He was out there talking about it. And then he was talking about I wasn't going to do anything illegal, which he talks about. He remembers a phone call that made Nintendo stop working with Amazon during the DS era. Because remember, for the longest time, Amazon wasn't selling anything legit hardware from Nintendo, and that they maybe third parties were getting in and stuff like that, but they weren't selling it directly. Well, that's because Amazon, being Amazon, wants to do behind the scenes illegal shit like they always do to try to get ahead in the consumer marketplace out there. And they were, well, I'll just read this. Reggie Fils-Aimé has opened up about the time Amazon executive gave him a phone call and asked Nintendo to do something illegal during the era of the Nintendo DS. The former Nintendo of America president recalled what sounds to have been a tense conversation at a recent lecture at the New York University. It was a talk that saw him cover the ups and downs from his time in charge of the Wii and the Switch maker. But it's the company's tumultuous relationship with Amazon that may have caught the audience's attention more than anything else, because we know Amazon is a brutal company, just like other bunch of companies out there. But Amazon is one of the biggest, even though I still buy stuff from them. They're evil to the core. Fils-Aimé remembers the phone call as happened toward the tail end of the Wii and DS generation, or sometime around the late 2000s or early 2010s. His involvement in the sales saw him driving a lot of revenue at the same time that Amazon was looking to get more into video games and have the lowest price out in the marketplace, because Amazon will try to push people to maybe give them a lower price on their goods and services, which isn't really 100% legal, because people got to put their prices out the same for everybody to do what they want to do with them. It was a conversation that got me after it had progressed through all of the levels of my sales organization. Fils-Aimé stated essentially what Amazon wanted is they wanted on. Hold on one second. Okay, excuse me, folks. Somebody was giving me a call when they knew I was probably doing a podcast now. But let's see here. Where was I? Okay, so essentially what Amazon wanted is they wanted an obscene amount of support, financial support, so they can have the lowest price and beat Walmart. I literally stated to the executive, that's illegal. I can't do that. You get silence at the, you get silence on the other end. And it's like, but this is what I want. Literally, we stopped selling to Amazon, and it's because I wasn't going to do something illegal, which that was illegal. And Amazon and them should know better. But, being Amazon and trying to be the big bully at the time and pushing against, people like Walmart and everybody else, they were willing to try to skirt under the table, which I'm sure they're still doing till this day, but who's going to catch them in that stuff? But Nintendo did not want that. They didn't want anything to do with that. They wanted to preserve the relationship with all their customers, and they frankly said, hey, Amazon, snip, snip. We're not doing business with you anymore directly. So, sorry. So, Nintendo's strange relationship with Amazon extends beyond the former bigwigs meeting. Just last year, rumors swirled that the two companies were at odds over the topic of third-party resellers, resulting in pulled products ahead of the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2. The Mario Maker denied the claims at the time, with Amazon also adding that it was pleased to offer Nintendo products directly to its customers. After around a year without first-party titles being made available for frequent shoppers on the online retailer, Nintendo games returned to Amazon in June of 2025. Yes, I remember. It just started again. But for how long? Till Amazon tries to do something else. The behind-the-scenes details regarding why the two found themselves making headlines last summer remain a mystery, although Fils-Aimé wasn't ready to offer the full picture. We do at least know why the relationship was more strained during his time as president. I wasn't going to do something that would put at risk the relationships we had with our other retailer partners. Of course not, he added, but it also set the stage to say, hey, look, you're not going to push me around. This is the way we do business. And so that's how over time you build respect. Because that's what Reggie Fils-Aimé says. I need some spect. Give me some spect, Nintendo. Some spect, Amazon. So, yeah, it's all about spect, people. Lots of respect. So that's that. And let's see here. Clarified that Amazon was right there at the table when it came time to launch the original Switch in 2017. He said that success, however, was only possible because it was based on mutually beneficial approach. And man, I hope this guy comes out with a book. I think he is doing a book or something eventually, because I would definitely read Reggie Fils-Aimé's book, because that guy, he is a damn freaking genius. Man, he is a freaking genius on his stuff. Boy, oh boy. I like that. Do you like that? I like that. And you know what else I like? I like to end this podcast because it's time to end the show, folks. So thank you all for joining me here. That was it. That was the last news story. And the podcast did go a little longer today. Huh, go figure. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, I'm recording this a couple days ahead again. You know, on Thursdays, I usually try to record it and bring it out to you guys for Monday. It was a lighter news section this week, so that was good. Depending on the weekend, I will try to play some more games and stuff, but I might do some plant stuff. I don't know. I might not, because, like I said, I don't get my soil until next week, but maybe I'll be able to do some gaming. But I'm going to do some grilling. I know that's for sure this weekend. I got some porky chops and some chicken to grill on the grill. I'm already started grilling. I love the grill. Love the grilling. But definitely going to play mixtape. Going to have a first gameplay out this weekend. That's going to be a definite. And I'm going to try to get through playing that. Yeah, I'm going to try to get through playing Persona 4 Golden. Let's see if I can get that done. And of course, we'll have more live streaming for you guys this week for Assassin's Creed Shadows until Forza Horizon 6 comes out. And of course, I will be dropping, instead of a Let's Play or Minecraft Mighty Mayhem this Wednesday, I will drop a game through game. I will drop my game through with Death Come True, first episode of that. So get ready for that. And anything you want to see, watch, or do, you can go to my OldFreakyGamer.com website. It's a website that I personally pay for and put up for people to easily go through and look at my content and stuff. Check out the schedule, check out my podcast, and so much more. Also, you could go to my YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button because it's free and easy to do. Hit subscribe and subscribe to my awesome YouTube channel for all the videos and this podcast that also goes up in video form on that as well. Every Friday night, or at least mostly every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube Live and Twitch.tv, I do game streaming. Usually it's a GameOn stream. And like I said, it's mostly stuff like Assassin's Creed Shadows, but like I said, also for Forza Horizon 6 is coming, so I'll be streaming that as well. And sometimes I'll stream other games depending on what I'm feeling that time, but it's mostly Assassin's Creeding. That's what you're going to see this Friday, so get ready. Otherwise, folks, thank you for joining me. I am Mr. Mike, and this podcast is now over. So everybody, game on, game hard, world conquest. I'm pushing this gaming button, and the show is now game over.
Game over.